Still no audio? Okay, so it's working now? Huh. I'm hoping Azriel just said that. Okay, well, I don't know what happened there. I turned it off and on. I didn't even unplug it out of the device, which is the same thing I do to test it every time. I'm not uh, I'm functional with electronics. I'm not knowledgeable, so I got to have some experience to know whether it'll work or not. And so I don't know why. I don't know what happened there, but thank you guys for letting me know. Glad that you have joined us. I was explaining how my site works. How I archive listings, the photos and videos after an item sells. Yeah, Chris, that's me too, man. That's always been the issue with computers. Just turn it off, turn it back on. So, yeah. So the first of this video is not going to have any sound. I apologize for that. We can go back and go over anything I might have missed. And I was also talking about these disposable promotional lighters and trying to decide what I'm going to do with them. Kind of curious. I don't know exactly how old those are. Probably the 90s or maybe 2000s, maybe newer. I know that old Bics and Scriptos hold gas pretty good over time. So I don't know. There might be some value there as a lot, not much. I think maybe there's more value in the fun that I can have from opening them and using them. How is everything in Tulsa this morning, Natha? Yeah, it's pretty nice around here too. The air is definitely cool. Summertime is gone, but winter in here, so that's better than it's been the last few. Cold in London? I thought it was always cold in London. I thought London was sort of like Seattle. It was always cold and rainy. Well, that was nice of you, NAFTA, passing out candy, riding around to them. From what I saw, the trick-or-treaters around, and that's not my neighborhood, but I went over to my daughter's house for a little bit, and she had a trick-or-treater too, and then my in-laws, and they had a few, but it seemed like it was really down from what it's been in the past. Oh, it's only cold and rainy on Tuesdays, huh? Yeah. Well, it's only windy in Oklahoma when I need to light something. Whoever made that Zippo windproof test put it in front of a fan. That has nothing on the Oklahoma wind whipping around. And it's just about impossible to light something that you need to keep on that flame. It's really easy to light commercially produced tobacco cigarettes that are made to light, but other things you have to keep on the flame a little longer. And when you're having to chase that flame around, it can effectually make that Zippo useless. That's why I carry so many of the Ronson jet lights. You guys are probably tired of seeing them, but good, dependable, cheap lighters. How many of you guys participate over on the Zippo Discord? I believe Dead Stick Dave's the one that created that, or I think he's the one that ended up sending me the invite. Zippo Daily Fix that may have had something to do with it too, because at one point he had mentioned it and then he never got around to sending me the invite. But that's a pretty cool deal over there where you can post the links and all. Yeah, I've certainly seen wind that'll bend a butane jet flame, but most of the time you can at least, if you have to protect it even, you can still get something lit. Where a Zippo, man, it's just not my favorite lighter to light something with. But like I said, for those that smoke just regular old Marlboros, Camels, whatever you buy at the convenience store and then pack down and pull out, all you really need to do is touch the flame to the end of one of those. Yeah, I've seen some of that too, NAFTA. Some of the strange printing on those Zippo knockoffs. What are you asking about the Ronson, Azrael? Oh, they're definitely iconic, Chris, and I'm just saying as far as the functionality. Well, really, it does have a lot to do with what you're trying to light. So you had a pipe insert for a Zippo, and then that'll work just about, because you're sucking it down. You can get that to work just about everywhere, probably with just a little bit of protection from your hand, maybe. And like I said, if you're lighting Marlboros, then a Zippo's probably good enough, because all you really need is a flicker of a flame to touch that thing as you inhale and it's lit. But other things take more time. Zippo is not my favorite as far as the functionality, of their dependable, their ability to dependably light when I need it to. But like I said, I don't light the same things that everybody else does. So maybe some of you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I had the butane insert, and that's a nice idea. I would also like to try the soft flame butane insert for the Zippo. I think that's an interesting idea. But there are people that'll tell you that the Zippo, Zippo, like collectors, enthusiasts, that it's more of a canvas for artwork than a piece of work itself. And once again, I'm not saying anything negative about Zippo. I mean, I'm a huge fan. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Chris mentions burning your eyebrows off in certain windy conditions, and yeah, you certainly can. I don't have I had the single torch that Zippo made. I never could get it to work right, but I dropped it off the balcony right after I got it. And then I have the electric arc Zippo insert, and it works pretty good. I actually liked it for what it is. You got to get, you basically got to get bare product on it, which once again is fine for lighting a Marlboro. You just touch it on it and it's going to be lit. But other things, it's a little bit more difficult. Maybe better for relighting the stuff that I use it on, more so than lighting it initially with that electric arc insert, the rechargeable one. Yeah, all kinds of facial hair could be lost there, Chris. Did any of you guys get out this week and check out Histoire d'une Flamme on TikTok? I saw a couple more of his videos over there. I don't know if he's posted any more on YouTube. Was I rambling, Azrael? I'm apt to lose track of where I'm at. I really like the way that he... Oh, gotcha. I really like the way that he times up those videos with the music. Very witty and funny and educational. He published another one about a Thorns video, or a Thorns lighter, a couple days ago that was every bit as cool as the first one. The very first video that I had ever seen him post on YouTube was kind of a catchy, edited, every single component going in place on a Thorns. And it may have been that same lighter that he published the video on last week. I don't know. But I look forward. He said that he had just gotten a new Cygnus last week, so I look forward to him making a video on his Cygnus lighter, hopefully. Okay, so Chris is in London, Natha is in Tulsa. Azrael, would you remind me where you're at? Sean hadn't joined us yet today, but Sean is somewhere in England. Birmingham, maybe. The more I go over where everyone is from, the more likely I am to remember it. Southeast Asia, cool. I'm not sure exactly what Southeast Asia entails, but I think that would include Vietnam. Our friend Thuan Nguyen is from Vietnam, I believe. He's a regular in the comment section of our daily videos. So we currently have 2 from Oklahoma, 1 from London, and 1 in Southeast Asia. What do you guys think I should do with the disposable lighters? Do you have an opinion? If you found something like that, would you use it if it still worked? Would you? Well, I guess they can't give that kind of stuff away anymore. I'll use just about anything that somebody gives me. But I don't buy plastic lighters. Hello, Gnarly. No, I haven't been up to see Ted lately. I thought about him. I saw his ad on Facebook Marketplace again the other day, and I need to give him a call. I thought maybe he'd sold it all. I'd had another eBay seller get a hold of me back right after a couple weeks after I'd made that video, or those videos, I should say. And he was talking about maybe buying him all out. So, but I'm assuming if he got that ad back on Facebook Marketplace that he's still trying to sell some of it. You say there's a disposable lighter by Marlboro with lights down the side. People like it for the, with Marlboro lights? You're saying advertising the light brand of Marlboro? Yeah, you're saying because of evaporation, Azrael? I've had some people in different humid or humidity prone areas of the United States tell me the same thing. And Oklahoma's, it gets pretty hot and humid here. But, I never really took the time to see the difference between what a Zippo would last between wintertime and summertime. But, sometimes I can get a week out of one. It all depends on how much I use it. And so, yeah, I'll try to pay a little bit more attention this wintertime, see if it does make a difference. Some people really care about that fuel efficiency. It really bothers them to be losing fuel through evaporation like that. All right. What do you mean by using a small container to get them wet, Azrael? Okay. I was thinking about you the other day, man. You'd sent me pictures of it alongside two others, or there were multiples, but one of them was stainless steel. Yeah, I meant to get back with you. I got busy, and um, I didn't have a chance to even do any um, research. But when you say stainless steel, you're not talking about the steel. You're not talking about steely, what they call steely Zippos, are you? The lighters that were made during the Korean War. I'm actually in Deep Deuce right at the moment, gnarly. Where are you located downtown? It seems like you. I remember when you sent that email. It seemed like you lived maybe somewhere around Western or Classen, because I live in the same area, but over around 23rd. Seemed like maybe you were a mile or two north. Or am I confusing you with somebody else? You say yes, you're talking about the Korean War steel Zippo? Must have been a typo there. It's alright, I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. And if you would, Gnarly, remind me what you had said, what the gist of that email was about the steel Zippo. Because at the time, I don't even think I made the connection to it possibly being the Korean War steel. Okay. If you excuse me, if you live in Edmond, then I must have been thinking about somebody else. It is stainless steel, nickel steel, not the porous steel from the World War II or the Korean War. Okay, so you're saying it's a better quality steel. I guess that's true. Those the steel that, and I say this all the time in the videos, but it's absolutely true. I'm not a metals expert. I don't know anything. Yeah, maybe you can educate me. But yeah, I guess that should have been a clue for me right there. That because those Korean War steel Zippos, they rust. It's how you can typically know one for sure is you'll see, there's corrosion on it that wouldn't occur with other metals, and I guess that wouldn't. I guess that's well, as stainless doesn't corrode. Period. What's up, Dylan? Still haven't explained the origin of oobla doobla to me. Yeah, you said someone. Okay, Ted Ballard told me someone told him about a stainless steel Zippo. Okay, so the guy that sold Ted, or that told Ted about it, you went and bought it off of him? And sold it to Ted, and then he sold it back to you? He had it for about 20 years in the museum. Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I can't remember whether I asked Ted about, I think I might have asked Ted about that when I was up there. And I don't think he knew what I was talking about, but he was, he seemed a little bit more frail when I saw him this last time than he had just a couple years ago. Okay. Good to know. I got you that wrench too, Dylan. Well, Gnarly, get back with me sometime. You're saying the others that you found with that same advertising on them? Yeah, I don't know how you would. Well, I don't. Um, I know there's different tests for different metals, but how are you going to determine the difference between, um, or how do you determine the difference between that corrosive steel and stainless steel? Is there a test other than the fact that it doesn't rust? He told you, Gnarly, you said he told you what afterward? Anyway, around it, if you'd like to get together, man, and talk about those Zippos, we can do that. Thank you, Dylan. We can do that, Gnarly, and I could, if you don't mind, I could make a video, and we can just, you know, I can edit it up, publish it on a weekday morning at 8 o'clock, and like I said, I think I did a little bit of research. Maybe I went over to the Passionate Wick. Maybe I Google searched stainless steel Zippo, and I don't remember finding anything. But I do know somebody who might. I mentioned him last week, and he's always been very helpful. So yeah, let's if you want to get together and take a look at them, man, I'd love to do that. I wasn't trying to blow you off when you emailed me before. I get focused on what's going on today, and everything else fades to the shadows until it gets forced back to the forefront. Yeah, it seems like I've read that before, naphtha. So how long you been collecting lighters, Gnarly? And since the volume was down earlier, let me try to do this again real quick. I've made videos on this before, at least, well, maybe more than one video covering all of this. But we publish videos mainly, or at least that was the original purpose, to go in or embed in our eBay listings. And if you go to the dependableflame.com website to the page current eBay listings, you'll see a heading and then a footer link along with the YouTube video, and then a photo gallery for every lighter that we currently have listed. As it says at the top of the page here, I am a eBay partner or member of the eBay Partner Network, so I earn a commission anytime you click through from one of these links, which I have these set up to where you can blow up each individual photo. You can click on the video and that'll take you to YouTube, or you can click the heading or the footer and that'll take you directly to eBay to that particular listing. Whereas I said, we earn a commission when you go that way. But once the lighter sells, then you can go over here to the menu to archived eBay listings, or from the current eBay listings page, click to the archived eBay listings, and then individual brand pages. I don't know how many of them there are, and they're not in alphabetical order. They're just in the order that I created them as the pages were needed. So then from there you can click over to see, don't have the heading or the footer, don't need those links over here, so we just have the video and the photo gallery. And then if I have paperwork from that particular brand, there will be a link to take you to that, which some of those are still very little, some have more than others. But anyway, that's what I was explaining earlier in the stream when I was made aware that the sound wasn't working. Since around 1994. No, that's I was about 5 years out of high school at that point. I was collecting other things. I should have been collecting lighters back then. I was smoking a lot of cigarettes back then. I should have been buying up lighters with Camel Cash. Back in the day, I smoked Camels and Marlboros. There were all kinds of those Camel and Marlboro lighters or Zippos that were bought with cash that you got from the packs that would sure be cool to have today. Chris, the standard is one that was made back from the beginning. It was kind of like the original. It seems to me that the original D-Light became the standard, kind of. I don't know. It gets kind of confusing how they went from the D-Lights into then the individual names. Because at one point, there were sub names under the D-Light heading. Anyway, the standard is sort of the older fitment, and the Cadet was too, but I think the Cadet may have been only made in England, or I may be confusing that with another one, but it has a different shaped body, squared corners, rounded. The face and back of the lighter are sort of bowed out, but the corners aren't rounded like other Ronsons you would think. The Triumph now was, at least the first ones may have had the older type mechanism, but they had the the bottom that pulled the spring tension bottom for you to fuel them up. So yeah, there are some differences between all three of those. But as far as they all work off the same, maybe even still been the same patent number on all of them. I think that same patent number is on most all of Ronson's lighters. That 19023. I think the Cadet is somewhat, you don't see a ton of them, but there's enough of them. It's not, I don't, none of the rare Ronsons are like the Debonair and the round ones, the Rondette, the Heart, the Banjo, maybe some of the Strikers, the Touch Tips. But I don't know. I don't really even know if there are any real rare touch tips. Ronson is, like I said, if you understand how the older mechanism worked, the standard, the Princess, the Gem, like that, if you understand how those worked, I don't know if I have a Ronson lighter in here with me or not, and I definitely don't have the newer mechanism. This is what I'm referring to as, and there are older type, I mean, I think this was probably from the 40s, probably from the 40s, maybe the early 50s. It's possible it's from the 30s, but I don't know. I don't really think so. But the ones that I think are older are the ones where it looks more skeletonized. But like I said, it's the same basic thing. Everything's working off the same plane. When they went to the new mechanism in like the mid 50s, 1953 or 1954, it depends on where you read. I think the Toledo Bin website says 1954. But I saw a Facebook post a couple weeks ago where I think it was one of Larry Leiter's posts that said it was 1953, the Essex. But that mechanism in 53 or 54, whenever it came out, the thumb lever, first of all, it looks different. It looks more sort of, I don't know what you'd call it. I'm not real good with those kind of descriptors. It's not Art Deco, but it's a term like that. Maybe streamline or machine age. I'm not sure what, but it's sort of, I wish I had that whirlwind with me. But the mechanism just looks different. And not only that, but the thumb lever sets lower than the snuffer. It's just the way that it's built. So if you look at it compared to one of these, you might think that the other one was broke or that it was not timed correctly. But that's just the way that mechanism works. Everything inside of it's the same though. You still got the gears, file wheel, clutch spring, those same mechanics at work. That Ronson will be listed soon as well. I've already got pictures taken for, I don't know, another dozen or so listings, and I've probably got another at least 20 lighters over at the place in Mesta Park that need to have photos taken and all that. It's a lot of work that goes into it. Everyone has to be watermarked, and you got several. It's long, detailed. It gets overwhelming sometimes in my head thinking about it. Once I kind of get in the flow of doing it, then I can list a lighter no problem every 30 minutes, probably closer to every 15 or 20. But it's more than just pushing a button or two. I tried to look back through the chat a while ago and I couldn't find. I thought somebody, maybe it was the comment that Gnarly erased. But do you guys have an opinion? I'm about 99% certain that all 5 of those lighters will still work. And that's just, I'm basing that on picking up old Bics or Scriptos. They always seem to work. And I don't know if there's a brand. That says Marlboro. Thought it might say Scripto. Electra. These all are flint sparked. No, that is piezo. That is flint. Kind of dusty. Maybe some flint exploded in there, you think? That one is also electric. So those are piezo. 2 of them piezo and 3 of them flint sparked. Do any of you ever buy disposable lighters? Yeah, that's me. And fortunately, I haven't been in that position that I can remember. But I carry about 5 of the Ronson jet lights with me at all times, and at least 1 petrol lighter, which is usually a Zippo. What's up, old Henningson? Appreciate. I saw your comments on the Facebook group. I can't remember which one that was the other day. I don't know if that was you that posted the link. I think it was you that posted the link. But I appreciate you sharing that, and I hope that, I can't remember now whether that guy had ever figured that whole thing out or not. He may have still been looking for a part. Hello, Canadian Cobra. Yeah, it's I don't know. It just seems I worry a whole lot more about the plastic than I do about the waste and the continuing production of plastic than I do about the evaporation of apologize about that, guys. Um, I worry a lot more about the production of plastic than, a little bit of fuel evaporation or, you know, fluid. I was complaining a while back, I think it was on one of these live streams, about how expensive it is, but it's still relatively cheap. Yeah, I'm with you. Nothing cool about a Bic. There are some, like those, what do you call it? I can't remember. I think Bic may make them, or maybe Scripto makes them, to where they got kind of a long neck. It's kind of like a small barbecue torch. Those come in really handy for certain things that you might need to light. Um, so I can see where somebody would want to buy something like that. But yeah, I just think there are better options. Yeah, Joe, a lot of people say that the Zippo was the original fidget spinner. And if I'm alone, if I'm just sitting around the house in the middle of the day, the Zippos or the jet lights can definitely make some noise. But I try not to fidget with them when there's other people around that might not want to hear it. Yeah, I agree. That's what I say, Cobra. I think it's, you talking about Chinese market for actual lighters, or for lighter fluid. Most people too that buy those disposable lighters, they don't use them up. They typically are going to carry them with them until it gets in somebody else's hand and walks away, or gets left somewhere at a bar or a restaurant or a party or someone else's car. But I would say this too. I haven't, the lighters that I've lost in the last, well, since let's say 2017, so the last 5 or 6 years, I haven't lost many of the old lighters or Zippos, the reusable, refillable petrol, or even the butane lighters that I've used. I haven't lost near as many of those as I used to lose of the plastic Bic or Scripto type. I think there's just something in that mindset when you're buying those things for $1.30 a piece, each time, or picking up a package of 12 of them at Walmart for $3 or whatever it was. Maybe it was more than that. But it's like a disposable mindset. It's like a throwaway mindset. So you just don't even think about whether or when you lost it, because you got 10 more of them in the pack, or you're just going to pick up another one next time you're at the convenience. However it is that you've already justified doing that in the first place. I think it's a lot better to go ahead and just use a refillable lighter. And over time, even though, people don't have to collect them just because they use them. And I know, especially with some Zippo collections, those collections can get really high. I mean, I got a fairly good sized collection, maybe 60 lighters total, but you know, you don't even have to collect that many. You don't have to collect any. You can just carry a Zippo and buy you a bottle of fluid and use it, and don't be wasteful with the plastic. Yeah, yeah, you're right. In every form, not just I mean the nicotine type that they sell at the convenience store, and the um, stuff that they just sell at the dispensaries. They've got those disposable batteries or whatever. It's all just self-contained. You just throw the whole thing away. So yeah, you're right. Everything it's a really disposable. Well, and a lot of those same products, they're the way they're packaged is so wasteful with plastics and paper, and I don't know. That would be a NAFTA says if he had a genie, his first wish would be to have a box of all the lighters, wrench sockets, guitar picks, and other small bits that he's ever lost. And I'm not a musician, but I can, excuse me, I can feel the rest of that. All the lighters. That's one reason why I say that I think all these lighters will work, because any Bic that I ever lost and found years later, it didn't matter where I found it, in a heated attic or trunk of a car or underneath the house, it always worked. So gnarly, you still have the stainless steel Zippo? And didn't it have advertising? Is that the way you were? You said that you looked for the others. You had two others that had the same graphic engraved on them or something like that. Joe says those disposable lighters end up in the same dimension as pens and half-used chapsticks. So naphtha, when you said you made homemade fireworks from the packs of clear ones, what did you connect to the pack of lighters? 4 others. Gotcha. So what is your? Do you think this was something that sort of like the Kennecott with the copper, something that that particular company commissioned Zippo to do specifically for them, and then they just never did any real production of it with the stainless steel metal? you guys see any of these that you are particularly interested in, let me know. And as I mentioned last week, I can make sure and list them first. Okay, lighting a candle. So you would tie the lighters together, light a candle next to them, then shoot the lighters with a slingshot. Okay, that makes perfect sense. So you weren't even, well, it was merely fuel, I guess, when the plastic broke. This Joe, you mentioned Kantai lighters. Is this an older company or a newer company? Well, that isn't. So that gnarly was the company that was advertised on those lighters. Was that a stainless steel company? Huh, okay, so you're not talking about real old. It seems like maybe I've seen that stamp. You're talking about they're what people would call a Zippo knockoff, sort of like Star or Zorro. So you said naphtha. You say your dad taught you that if you take the flint out and wrap the spring around the flint, then heat it up red hot, then throw it against the ground. It makes a shower of sparks. So you're heating up the flint that has the or the spring. You did say spring, and wrap the spring around the flint, then heat it up. Huh. Okay, well that's interesting, gnarly. I wonder what the significance of the stainless steel would have been then. Oh, gotcha. That's what I was trying to picture in my mind, Natha, how the spring was wrapped around the flint. But I see now that you had it wrapped around part of it, but then you're holding it by the other end so that you could heat it up. I got you. But just to clarify, Gnarly, you have the one lighter which is stainless steel, and it's not plated or anything, right? It's just stainless steel. And then the other 4 lighters with the same advertising on them that are all the typical chrome plated brass. Okay. So you're saying that one particular, the stainless steel lighter was made. What year, what, does it have special engravings on it noting that, or what's the differences between, other than the material that they're made out of, are there any differences between the stainless steel Zippo and the 4 that are, and what are they, chrome plated brass, or are some of those chrome plated steel? You think there's a chance that that is cloudy? Okay, there, that's the brand on those lighters. The Jeep. Seen that before. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. But do you think there's a chance that that flint has degraded in there and that's why that's so cloudy? They all had the same engravings. Oh, so if it was 1948, then it's 3-barrel. Is that correct? trying to look back here, Gnarly, and see if I can. What did you say the company was? Lane Wells. Lane Wells. I'll see what kind of information I can find on that. I got, like I said, I got one person that I can ask that if anybody knows, they should know. And we can talk about it next week. Or if you want to email me, then I'll go back and try to find the email that you sent. I know that's probably been, it might have been a couple of years ago, huh? Most advertising lighter, well, it just depends. I guess that may be the difference, Joe, between an advertising lighter and a promotional lighter. Even though, because like those Marlboro lighters you see sitting back in the background there, that is an advertisement for the Marlboro brand, but it's also a promotional lighter. So I don't know, I think most companies would have had the lighter made to hand out, to give to, their best clients, or maybe all their clients. I don't know. Maybe they were inexpensive enough that maybe just prospective clients. I don't know. But like, we call flat ad lighters. I mean, that would include like the cigarette advertising lighters, and those would have been promotional lighters, but they're also obviously advertising lighters. Okay. So the stainless steel with the replaced hinge, it's a 5 barrel hinge then? Lane oil. What did I say? Naphtha says that he just found an old empty lighter in a jar of old matches that he has in the house. He says it's a gas light that is advertising Investors Security Insurance Company that was located in Oklahoma City. That's cool, Naphtha. Is that, when you say gas light, that's a butane lighter? Probably from like the 60s or 70s? That has, I think it was um, it was flint sparked butane, but I think those were made by Park Industries. So, Gnarly, did you send that lighter in to have it repaired? You said it has a repaired hinge. Replaced hinge on it. It's in two pieces when I found it. So that maybe there wasn't a hinge on it when you got it? Several of these lighters that I had in that last group, that wasn't one of them, several of them were in unused condition, but do have some blemishes. So some of these will get listed a little bit less expensive in our store than you might really think, just because they do have a blemish or two. Really cool lighters though, functional, that'll display every bit as nice as the Zippo. Some of them may be even better made. Well, that's an interesting idea, Joe. I'd like to, I toy with the idea of making my own lighter, but I'd have to, you couldn't just copy something else. It'd have to be something, or improve something. It's a neat idea though, making your own lighter. I really like the Cygnus for the efficiency of ignition, but they do have a little bit of a limitation. I got a question this week over on the Facebook group from David Ward, asking if there was any way to get more than about 3 days out of one. And it's, unfortunately, they just don't hold that much fuel. And Ted Ballard repaired it for you, huh? That's interesting. Might have to tell me about that. Um, what was I? I don't remember what I was talking about. So, Gnarly, what did Ted? How did he repair it? Did he, where, like he actually soldered a new hinge on it? Or just replaced the pin? I didn't know that. He never really let on to me that he did that kind of repair. Just from talking to him, I wouldn't have thought that he ever did much repair on a lighter other than spinning a clothes hanger or some kind of sharp implement around in a tube. But he told me never use a power tool on a lighter, which I use power tools and lighters all the time. But Ted is also a very handy guy. He told me that he was a master die maker or what was it? Casting maker maybe. His company was, or his dad, I'm sorry, was very prominent. He invested or invented a machine that bent huge pipe for laying pipeline. So a lot of interesting things in his background. In Ted's background, that is. He's a big Star Wars fan. And I wouldn't put, you told me just about anything he had done, I wouldn't put it past him. He seemed very capable. And he was sick last time I was up there. And of course, he's 80 something years old, so he's getting up there. But definitely seemed like a very capable man to me. Liquor advertising. Local advertising. Fertilizer advertising. You asking about this one? I'm sorry, reached too short. Joe, kind of in effect it is, but it doesn't, I mean, it's not like a carbon copy of one. Wrote an article about this on the website. John G. Kafke and his family had a brother that was, this is a park advertise or Park Industries lighter, and that insert looks sort of gold tone. I can't tell if that's just in certain light, but it's not marked Park. It's marked Vernon lighter, and this is the second of these that I've had, but I'm certain that this was a hired out job where Park made this lighter for the Vernon Lighter Company. Yeah, in effect, it's a business card. It's an advertising lighter for that bank and its president. You talking about Ted Gnarly made jewelry? I don't know if I knew that or not. He certainly had a lot of stuff packed into that building. It wasn't just lighters. And of course, he has lighters of all kinds. Lighters that we wouldn't even recognize as lighters. Some of them look more like lamps, or some of those perpetuals look more like sculptures. But really cool stuff. I really enjoyed going up there and talking to him each time that I have. But that last time I was up there when I shot those videos, his son was right there with him the whole time and concerned. And Ted had mentioned that he was on some medication that he wasn't feeling too well from it, and he might not be able to, put up with me for too long. And I didn't really realize how short it was going to be. Otherwise, I'd have started shooting video the minute I walked in there. But I think I was there for maybe an hour. And the video that I shot probably wasn't more than a total of maybe 20 or 25 minutes. But it's always fun to go talk to Ted, and he knows a lot about a lot of stuff. And he'll tell you about, well blubber and tallow, I think is the word. He might place a petrified human scrotum in your hand. He didn't try to do that to me the last time I was there, but I was a victim the first time for sure. You talking about this one, Joe, the 2-color? And it's actually 3 with the chrome, the yellow of the text or gold, and the red. Yeah, I really like it too. This is there'll be a video. I've already shot it. It's in the queue, maybe for tomorrow, but I'm not sure yet which video will actually be published tomorrow. But it'll be there soon. Yeah, I like that lighter a lot. I really like the colors that you can get out of the anodized aluminum. Of course, it's always nicer to see paint on a lighter than it is, achieving the same effect through the anodization, but whatever. Like the DEA, is it the DEA? No, ATF badge lighter that I have with the Moonshine Kills slogan on the other side. It's an anodized lighter, the graphics and everything. Of course, it'd be cooler if that was all painted on there, but they didn't do that with every design. And even with this one where you don't have an image, it's really just text. Still an attractive lighter. Really cool, really functional. Well, Gnarly, like I said, email me if you want, and we'll see what we can do. And in the absence of that, I will, at the very least, have some kind of idea, try to figure something out, See if I can get you some kind of answer by this time next week when we do the stream. But I'd be open too if you wanted to get together and look at them, maybe do a video or something like that. We could do that. You said you're in the city every day. Are you work in Oklahoma City, I assume? While you guys are here, make sure you hit the thumbs up button. Make sure you tell your friends. Tell them that we're doing this once a week. So if you got a question or got something that you would like to talk about, you can always comment on one of the YouTube videos. You can always get a hold of us over at the Contact Us page over at the website, or on any of the social links like Facebook, eBay, Twitter, and Pinterest also. Nobody ever, I don't know if I've ever messaged anybody on Pinterest, maybe a few on Twitter. But Facebook's the most common, also the website or email. All those are listed over there. And if you think about something during the week, then get a hold of me and say, hey, maybe you want to look into this so we can talk about it on Tuesday. Open to that. And I guess I'll just have to keep pondering what I'm going to do. Maybe I'll make a video opening one of those disposable ladders. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning for sure, and be back here again next week as well. Until next time.